Okay, moving forward, right now we are covering the Unifi high performance switches. These are the new Gen 2 switches from Ubiquiti. They were launched late last year. Of course, they were been out in the beta market for quite a while. All right, so right now for the second gen switches, we have the 16 port, okay, namely they are named after as USW-16-POE Gen 2. Okay, out of the 16 ports, only 8 ports are PoE enabled. Okay, do take note, they can be powered up to PoE plus. So that's IEEE 802.03AT. Okay, similarly, they also have 2 SFP, okay, 2 SFP ports available for trunking. All right, for the Gen 2, one of the major difference between Gen 1 and Gen 2 is that Gen 2 switches are silent switches. So they say that they are fanless. They do not have any fan. Okay, they will depend on air to cool it down. But with this, at the same time, do note that okay, the PoE power that's provided is slightly lesser. Okay, I'll teach you a trick later on where to find, okay, how do you know what's the PoE output on your switches for the Gen 2 series. Okay, be very, very careful about it, okay, or else you may end up undersizing and having insufficient power for your customers. Okay, so guys, do take note of this. Now, very quickly, some of the key features. Fanless for the USW16 and US24. Okay, 16 port and 24 ports are fanless. Okay, now in terms of cooling, it's near silent. Okay, it's extremely silent. This I can tell you that. Okay, I'm using one of them. All right, and in front of it there is a touch panel. Okay, there's a 1.3-inch touch screen, okay, which display out information. So what kind of information can you get from the touch screen? You'll basically list out the operation hours, the temperature, okay, the IP, and also at the same time it also allow you to see the performance of the switch without having to connect to the switch itself to know what's the information from the switch. Okay, so this is very good in case you need to know some very quick information. Okay, now moving forward, okay, other than the 16 port and 24 port Gen 2 series, they have two new switches, which are the USW Pro. Okay, these are the Pro series. What is the difference between the standard USW and the USW Pro? Is that it is ready for layer 3. Okay, as you can see from the slide here, it says here layer 3 switching. Okay, the layer 3 switching will be ready once the firmware is ready. All you have to do is just upgrade the firmware, okay, update the firmware, upgrade it, and you'll be ready layer 3 ready for the USW Pro 24 PoE Gen 2 and the USW Pro 48 PoE Gen 2. Okay, do note the difference between the Pro and non-Pro, especially for the 24 ports. Okay, similarly, the PoE power is not full power, as in the sense that not all ports are PoE enabled. So be very, very careful, especially for the 24 ports and 48 ports. You have to know which are the ports that have the correct, okay, IEEE standard PoE. Okay, so you have the 802.03AT and the 802.03BT. Okay, now in terms of IEEE standards, okay, 802.03AT accepts up minimally 30 watts. Okay, and the 802.03BT will take at least 50 watts. Okay, so do note of that. Now for the USW Pro 24, you will see that there is 2 SFP plus ports. Okay, so they're ready for 10G. Okay, so be very noticing about it. Okay, now the next one is the 48 ports. Okay, 48 ports, they have 4. Okay, they have 4 SFPs. Okay, so then there you will have additional ports. Now let me go through a very quick trick that I can show you, or tip that I can show you is, once you log into the Ubiquiti website, okay, all you have to do is select Unifi, okay, as I've done here, select Unifi. All right, so all the Unifi information will appear. Okay, once it appears in front of you, all you have to do is just select switch. Okay, switch will appear, and once the switch icon appears, click on it and it will jump right into the switches. Okay, somehow or other it's not coming out, so let me try again. So let's check out the internet that is loading. As you can see, this is my recording. The internet is acting up today, if I must say so. Okay, let me get back to you on this. Okay, right, it's back. Okay, so this is the main micro landing site for the Unifi products. Okay, so you can see here across the board you have all your products. All you have to do is just select on the switches. Okay, and you'll jump right into the switches for you, and we are waiting for it to happen. It's not coming up. All right, it's coming up. Okay, so the switches will appear. All right, so this is the site. Okay, there's some animations, but the trick and tip that I want to show you guys is here. Okay, as you can see here. Okay, let me zoom in slightly. Okay, so for the Gen 2 switches for the Unifi, for the 16 port, okay, even though it has a power budget of 60 watts, but the total available PoE is only 42 watts. So you have to share 42 watts with 8 of the ports. Okay, so only 8 of the ports are PoE enabled, okay, which you can see here. And for the 24 ports, only 95 watts are available. And for the 24 Pro, you will have 400 watts. Okay, so do take note which are the ports that have the PoE power, and especially in terms of the standards that you require. And last but not least, the 48 ports. Okay, so do take note about this and do know where to click in order to find this small little tip to source out. Okay. Now, in case if you have any of your clientele asking in terms of the sound rating, okay, it will even disclose to you, okay, what's the sound dB like, okay, how high in terms of the sound level. Okay, so that's also can be sometimes be useful, especially if you're going to deploy in a data center. Okay, so that's the end of my slide on the Gen 2 switches. Next we have is the Unifi cabling and the patches. Okay, so I'm pretty sure some of you may not know that actually Unifi does have some form of cabling. Okay, so you can see here you have the Unifi direct copper connectors. Okay, so there's 1 meter. Okay, so there's UDC-1 is 1 meter, UDC-2 is 2 meters, UDC-3 is for 3 meters. And do note all these cables are meant to be used indoor. Okay, now at the same time there are Unifi cables. Okay, they are called the UC patch RJ45. So these are Cat6 cables. All right, so it runs a length of 220 meters. Okay, and then you have your UC Cat6 cables. Okay, so it runs up in terms of 304 meters, which is 1,000 feet. Okay, now in terms of outdoor, if you need cables for outdoor, you have your Tough Cable Pro and Tough Cable Carrier. Okay, so these are the different cables. All right, okay. Now for the Unifi LTE, okay, it's not available in our region in Asia. Okay, basically it's tied to AT&T, so it requires you to have an AT&T LTE subscription. So it only works in the US. All right, so it's only good for the US customers. All right, so it's basically a unit of an LTE modem where you attach it to your WAN port of your USG to be used as a failover or optional WAN support. Okay. Next, I'm going to jump into the Unifi access points. Okay,